Tonight, the major storm as we come on the air, hitting on one of the busiest travel days of the year. The urgent coastal warning with waves up to 25 feet. The images coming in, a rogue wave slamming into the California coast. People swept off their feet, some trying to outrun the water filling the streets. At least 8 hospitalized, more than a dozen rescued. Heavy rain, wind, and rough surf from California to Washington state. The storm hitting on one of the busiest travel days with New Year's Eve just 2 days away. Will Carr in California. Rob Marciano with the holiday weekend forecast. Here in New York and across the country, police on high alert for New Year's Eve. The NYPD ramping up security in Times Square for what it calls a heightened and dynamic risk environment, deploying thousands of officers for an expected crowd of 1 million people counting down to 2024. One day after being banned from the ballot in Maine, former President Donald Trump vowing to fight another legal battle, saying the decision disenfranchises American voters. Our Jon Karl with 3 former Trump staffers and their warning about a potential second Trump term. The war in Ukraine, Russia unleashing its largest attack since the start of the war. Dozens killed, the massive barrage of missiles and drones simultaneously targeting civilians in 6 major cities, hitting apartment buildings, a shopping mall, and a maternity hospital. Attacks escalating in the Red Sea. The U.S. shooting down a drone and a ballistic missile fired by Iranian-backed militants. The urgent manhunt tonight for a mother wanted for allegedly killing 2 of her own children and wounding a 3rd. Police believe she reported a fake break-in at their home. And the new alert from the CDC, 31 states reporting high levels of respiratory illnesses, including the flu, COVID, and RSV.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. It's great to have you with us on this Friday night. I'm Whit Johnson in for David. And we begin tonight with the weather threat on one of the busiest travel days of the year, the final weekend before New Year's, and the urgent coastal warning. Massive waves crashing into the California shoreline, and this rogue wave in Ventura County, north of Los Angeles, injuring at least 8 people when they were swept off their feet. The wave carrying some about 50 yards. Water rushing through the doors of a restaurant in Santa Cruz County. The system moving its way down the coast through tomorrow. Rob Marciano standing by. But first, ABC's Will Carr leads us off from Southern California.
Tonight, high surf warnings across Southern California, 25-foot waves possible in the hours ahead. Crews racing to build sand berms to protect the shoreline. This after that massive rogue wave took over Ventura streets like a tsunami. A wall of water sweeping up people and vehicles in its path. At least 8 people were hurt. More than a dozen rescues Thursday. Watch as 2 people race to help this lifeguard, grabbing their arms, pulling them to dry land.
So this was the lobby.
That wave destroying the first floor of Judy Thomas's inn.
A wave of that strength.
Yes.
Could you ever imagine?
No. I mean, it was like a tsunami.
Powerful system slamming the whole West Coast, damaging businesses in Northern California's Santa Cruz County.
With the waves being so powerful, if you turn your back for even a split second, you can be knocked over, swept away.
And there is still a serious threat heading into the weekend. That's why authorities have built up those berms behind me to protect the homes and businesses across this area as that high surf warning is in effect until late Saturday night. Whit.
Will Carr, thank you. Let's get right to ABC's senior meteorologist, Rob Marciano. So, Rob, what can we expect for the holiday weekend?
Well, things will eventually calm down, but we got to get through this West Coast storm first. And it's really 2 storms that are churning up the Pacific and causing all this wave action. The first one is really spinning a front, and that's what's bringing the rain to Portland and San Francisco, soon to Santa Barbara, eventually to Los Angeles tomorrow morning. More coastal flooding, more waves, 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, maybe up to a foot or more of snow. Good news, this does eventually die in the mountains. So as we look ahead to New Year's Eve, pretty quiet across much of the country with the exception of some leftover rain and snow showers across the Great Lakes and parts of the Northeast. Whit?
Some welcome news. We'll take it, Rob. Thanks so much. Heading into New Year's Eve tonight, police across the country are on alert from New York City to Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles. The NYPD deploying thousands of officers to watch over an expected crowd of 1 million in Times Square. ABC's Aaron Katersky here in New York.
Tonight, the nation's largest police force is expanding security measures for New Year's Eve amid what the NYPD calls a heightened and dynamic risk environment fueled by the Israel-Hamas war.
We will be out here with our canines, our horsebacks, our drones, our helicopters, our boats.
Police now bracing for the chance pro-Palestinian demonstrators could disrupt festivities in Times Square like they did during the Thanksgiving parade. Authorities will also be watching for potential acts of terrorism after last New Year's Eve when an alleged ISIS sympathizer attacked officers at a checkpoint with a large knife. Today, the FBI took us inside the room where they'll have eyes on the crowd. Anything in particular worry you ahead of Sunday?
I would say no, nothing right now. Nothing's worrying us. It's just that we have to get it right every time.
Outside New York, the FBI's eyeing a broad set of potential soft targets at other New Year's Eve celebrations, including fireworks barges in San Francisco and outlaw motorcycle gangs that have been warring in Las Vegas.
The FBI telling us today, Whit, there's nothing that should keep anyone away from Times Square on New Year's Eve. There are no specific threats. Whit.
Aaron Katersky for us. Thank you. Also here in New York, a new wave of charter buses carrying migrants from the southern border. 6 buses with asylum seekers arriving overnight. They came less than 48 hours after Mayor Eric Adams signed an executive order restricting drop-off times. The mayor threatening to fine the bus companies and impound their vehicles. Now to the race for president and Donald Trump's battle to stay on the ballot. The former president's campaign vowing to appeal Maine's decision to ban him from the state's primary ballot, citing the insurrection clause in the 14th Amendment. And tonight, what several former Trump White House staffers told us about whether he should ever be allowed back in office. Here's ABC's chief Washington correspondent, Jon Karl.
Donald Trump's campaign says it will appeal what it calls the atrocious decision to bar him from the Maine Republican primary ballot. Maine Secretary of State Shenna Bellows decided to remove Trump's name from the ballot after she determined he took part in an attempted insurrection on January 6th and is therefore disqualified from running for office under the 14th Amendment to the Constitution.
I am mindful that no Secretary of State has ever before deprived a presidential candidate of ballot access under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. But I'm also mindful that no presidential candidate has ever before engaged in insurrection.
There have been similar efforts to keep Trump off the ballot in more than 30 states, but so far Colorado is the only other state to do so, a decision now under appeal to the Supreme Court. Despite the challenges, Trump remains the clear frontrunner. I spoke exclusively to 3 women who supported Trump and worked for him in the White House, but who are now warning of the dangers of a second Trump presidency.
What would a second Trump term look like?
Fundamentally, a second Trump term could mean the end of American democracy as we know it. And I don't say that lightly.
The fact that he feels that he needs to lean into being a dictator alone shows that he is a weak and feeble man.
We don't need to speculate what a second Trump term would look like because we already saw it play out.
Jon Karl back with us now. And John, it seems all but certain at this point this issue of whether former President Trump is eligible to be on various ballots will go to the Supreme Court.
Well, what you have different states doing different things. Just last night, the state of California ruled against a similar effort to keep Trump off the ballot there. So it makes it highly likely the Supreme Court will have to ultimately decide this. In fact, Maine's Secretary of State said that she expects the court will have to ultimately decide it. And when they do, if they do, she says she will respect their decision. Whit?
All right, John, we appreciate it. Thank you. And John's exclusive interview with those former Trump White House staffers airs on This Week, this Sunday, right here on ABC. Next tonight, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine breaking from his own party, vetoing a Republican bill that would have banned gender-affirming care for transgender minors and blocked transgender athletes from women's sports. The governor basing his decision on meetings with doctors, parents, and transgender children. DeWine saying that while he agrees with some of the concerns from lawmakers, the bill suggests the government knows better than parents about what is medically best for a child. We move on now to the war in Ukraine. Russia unleashing its largest attack today since the fighting began nearly 2 years ago. The massive barrage of missiles and drones simultaneously targeting civilians in 6 major cities, dozens killed. Here's ABC's Marcus Moore.
The skies over Ukraine were set ablaze after Russia unleashed its largest attack since the start of their full-scale invasion. Civilians seen running for their lives. At least 31 people killed and more than 100 injured. In Dnipro, a mall in flames, and this maternity hospital where mothers were about to give birth left in ruins. In Odessa, a residential building engulfed, flames and smoke rising into the air. Crews rushed to save this man buried alive in Kharkiv, lifting a concrete block off his back. Russia launching more than 150 missiles and drones in a horrific day-long assault, striking 6 major cities across Ukraine, including the capital. Poland, a NATO member, saying one Russian missile entered their airspace before disappearing from radar. President Zelensky saying Russia used, quote, nearly every type of weapon in its arsenal, adding his forces will surely respond.
With today, President Biden warned Republicans wishing to scale back aid to Ukraine, writing, quote, history will judge harshly those who fail to answer freedom's call. With
Marcus Moore, thank you. Growing fears of the Israel-Hamas war expanding across the region tonight. Attacks escalating in the Red Sea. The U.S. shooting down a drone and a ballistic missile fired by Iranian-backed militants. 18 vessels, most of them cargo ships, in the area at the time. Here's ABC's Britt Clennett.
Tonight, Yemeni state media showing huge pro-Palestinian crowds waving flags and placards in the capital. These mass protests held weekly in Yemen since Israel's bombardment of Gaza began in response to the deadly October 7th terrorist attack by Hamas. Claiming to be in protest of Israel's war against Hamas, Iranian-backed Houthi rebels inside Yemen on Thursday launching their 22nd strike on vessels in the Red Sea, a vital route for global shipping. A U.S. warship once again shooting down a drone and ballistic missile. Houthi leader Mohammed al-Houthi telling ABC News the ball is in President Biden's court. We seek to stop the aggression on Gaza, and the American president seeks to expand the conflict. If the American president aims to expand the conflict, it is up to him, al-Houthi says. Tonight, the White House saying the United States is prepared to lead the global response in countering what they call the Houthis' indiscriminate attacks.
The U.S. military is leading an international force to create a safe passage for shipping companies to use, but some major firms are diverting vessels away from the Red Sea, and these attacks by the Houthis are showing no sign of stopping.
Britt Clennett in Israel, our thanks to you tonight. Back here in the U.S., the urgent manhunt for a mother in Colorado on the run after allegedly killing 2 of her own children and wounding a third. The FBI now joining that investigation. Here's ABC's Mola Langhi.
Tonight, the FBI searching for a Colorado mom on the run. Police say what began as a burglary call has turned into a manhunt for 35-year-old Kimberly Singler, accused of murdering 2 of her children and attempting to murder another.
It could be an assault patient with multiple stab wounds with other victims involved.
Colorado Springs police say the initial call came in just after midnight on December 19th. Authorities arriving to find Singler's 9-year-old daughter and 7-year-old son, both dead. Singler and her 11-year-old daughter treated for injuries.
To think that they're not here anymore is just, it's heartbreaking.
But as authorities investigated, they determined there was no burglary. By the time Singler was charged with murder this week, police say she had already disappeared. Last seen Saturday, December 23rd.
They took her to the hospital and then they released her, and now they're looking for her. What happened there?
Well, Singler's facing 10 charges tonight, including 2 counts of murder. Her bond is set at $10 million. And police say her 11-year-old daughter, who, as we mentioned, was injured in that incident, is safe tonight.
Truly a disturbing case. Mola, thank you. When we come back here tonight, the daring rescue in Chicago. Firefighters save a woman from the 6th floor of an apartment building, and details on the surge in respiratory illnesses across the country. Next tonight, a daring rescue by firefighters in Chicago. Flames shooting from the 6th floor window of an apartment building on the city's north side. A woman seen leaning out the window, screaming for help. Fire crews using buckets to reach people on higher floors. At least 2 people were rushed to the hospital in critical condition. When we come back, respiratory illnesses on the rise. The advice from experts. To the index now, respiratory illnesses are on the rise across much of the country as Americans get ready to gather for New Year's Eve. 31 states plus Washington, D.C. are experiencing high or very high levels of activity. Health officials recommend everyone get their flu and COVID shots, and those who are eligible to receive an RSV shot. When we come back, David Muir is here with his New Year's message and a personal look behind the scenes here at ABC News.
And finally tonight here, I hope you'll allow me a personal note.
I wanted to take a moment to thank the extraordinary team behind the scenes here who bring you this newscast all year long. We know these have been heavy times. The news isn't always easy, but we have also worked so hard to find the connection, to celebrate communities across our country with America Strong and Made in America. And so we thank you for watching every night, and I thank the team that makes it possible every night. From all of us here at ABC News, I'm David Muir. Happy New Year, and we'll see you next year. Good night.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never thought upon? The flames of love extinguished and fully past and gone. For all lang syne, my Joe, for all lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for all lang syne. Should all acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should all acquaintance be forgot and all lang syne? For all lang syne, my Joe, for all lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for all lang syne. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never thought upon? The flames of love extinguished and fully past and gone. For all lang syne, my Joe, for all lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for all lang syne. Should all acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should all acquaintance be forgot and all lang syne? For all lang syne, my Joe, for all lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for all lang syne.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.